1, 2, 3.
ADC!
Welcome, everybody, to Retireholics episode number
10?
10.
Double digits.
10.
10.
Episode
Woo!
number 10. This is the Retireholics show. What is the Retireholics? It's my buddies here and myself, Justin McNeil, Mark Palmini, Chad Johansson, Jay to the Dizzy. And we're going to drop some 401k knowledge on you guys.
Oh, they're going to say 401k dizzy.
Thanks for caring.
Some nuggets, some things that you can take with you in your advisory practices, and also hopefully some industry professionals out there are tuning in to sharpen their skills as well. Like every show, we start not with Beer 30. It's called
Beer of the Episode.
My bad.
Beer of the Episode. Come forward, fellas. Come forward. Today we have something picked out by the one and only Justin Daniel McNeil.
Wow. Oh, throwing out the middle name.
I always call him Danielle. Pray for snow.
Wait, hold on. Does that mean his initials are JD?
It is.
It is.
Oh.
I've called him
I knew
JD
that.
for years. So we have Pray for Snow out of Bend, Oregon.
In honor of this epic snow season we just had.
Yeah,
which
you don't
Justin
have
is
to pray
obviously
for it
very
anymore.
excited
It's actually
about.
happening.
Well, I'm gonna have to
This
pray
is
for it
a
for next year.
2015 seasonal brew, fellas.
It's-
We have no idea what
This
kind
is
of beer
like
it is.
Last year,
Oh,
huh?
hey.
Well, actually, the
Bringing out the
winter
big-
that we were just in, meaning like currently, was 15, because the 16 winter will
They
start
carried
towards
over.
the end of this year. So it's
I don't-
actually this year.
I don't
But
actually.
it is a
know
winter
what-
ale. It is 7% alcohol by content. As
Beats
Mark
11%.
loves, I will give my impression of this beer after.
I want to know exactly how
Take a
it
drink.
tastes, how it smells, how it makes you feel.
Crisp. Crisp.
Like the Rockies.
Like a
I'm especially
A morning-
interested in the
a winter
texture.
morning.
Is there anything floating in yours?
really?
Oh, shit.
Why is there stuff floating in that beer?
What just happened?
I forgot to twist the boot.
Rookie.
I don't see anything
Rookie.
floating in
Oh, I got
Residue?
some stuff floating.
Oh,
Yeah.
there's definitely stuff floating in there.
Okay, good.
Cheers, fellas, to
Glad
the
to know that
floaters.
I'm not the only one.
Cheers to floaters. Yeah.
It's
It's good.
microbiotics,
It's crisp. It's hearty. It's got some bite to it on the back end. I would say it's a pretty hoppy winter ale.
All right.
What is
So-
floating in
So
this?
10.
I'm pretty excited about this. We're jumping straight into content for 10. We're
Well,
going.
Of course you're excited about that.
I do want to throw a shout out there.
The shout out to Coasters Limited Edition.
Nice.
Contact us on Twitter and you might get some.
If you have not already, if you comment on our LinkedIn page, retireholics.com, or if you're not on LinkedIn, which, what? You're not on LinkedIn?
What's
Shame
LinkedIn?
on you. We need to sit down and have a
You
conversation.
go to our Facebook page and comment on what beer you think should be on a future episode of Retireholics. And if once we get to 50 comments that come in, we will pick a winner, the one we think is best, and you will win a Beer of the Month club from craftbeer.com. We're going to sponsor it.
Well, fine print,
Fine print.
contest rules.
but-
What is it again?
So sign up for that. But you're right.
no,
Let's
it's this
dive
way.
straight into some content.
Content.
We have started something here, a little bit of self-promotion, but still tons of value for our viewers, called 401k.com,
Spell it out.
FOUR01
01.
numeric K.com.
Okay.
No, that's a different segment.
Okay. I like K.
And it's a blog written by
Yours
yours
truly.
truly.
Don't know
on a
that.
variety of
Don't know yours truly at all.
subject matter. Super hipster and cool because there's like a shot of me in the ocean looking all.
Just look at
You've
me.
got, you've got
Most
some good
hip
PR for
44-year-old I
that
know.
shot. too.
But the content, which I don't know if you guys know how often I update it, but I try to make it a plan to do it at this point every week. So every week we throw something new out there. And the concept there is for you guys to be able to make it available to the advisors and partners that we work with, right? So they have things not only to educate themselves or get up to speed on, but also to share with prospects and sponsors, et cetera, et cetera.
Well,
Which
I
is
think-
what we're doing.
At the end of the day, it's valuable content that's actually displayed in a way that's fun to read. It's easy to understand. I'll be honest. Like, I mean, I read it. I send it out to all the advisors I work with, and it's neat. I like it.
Well,
I'm
and
going to caveat that I'm your boss when you say that.
I mean,
Yeah,
I'm absolutely impartial.
I am not a
in some
professional
senses.
writer, nor do I pretend
Which
to
is
be
good.
one.
Which is
but
good because there are
It's a completely
unique
different
twists. You make fun of yourself.
It's the
you have-
representation of the
Yeah.
content itself.
And
And,
it's-
and I agree. I use this often to send out to advisors to say, hey, they're typically topics we're discussing when we're sitting down with
Right.
these folks. So
Yeah.
to blast something out following it has been impactful.
And it's something unique and different than what we read, especially right now
Yeah.
with fiduciary stuff going on every day. You
Yeah,
know,
I'm
and
trying to put a smile on their face.
And
A bit of our edutainment, but at the same time deliver some
And
good
in bringing it full circle to what we're actually getting ready to talk a little bit about, which is 401k.com, this goes hand in hand with a bit of our segments that we've talked about making impact for advisors and allowing them to differentiate themselves. So how can we deliver content? This is one of the ways that we can deliver content to these folks.
Well, yeah, so our pitch has been hashtag not your typical advisor. And we want them to build their brand, right? Build their skill sets. And so as an example, one of my most recent posts is called 6 Ways to Be a Stronger Plan Advisor. And what it's really based on is the fact that for almost a decade, our advisor partners have come to us and said, hey, you guys are tied into this stuff. Can you provide me with some articles, some white papers, some current events, some things that I could drip on my prospects?
You and I sat in an advisor meeting 3 or 4 years ago, and they pulled out a physical newspaper article that was cut out by another TPA. And they said, I've had this TPA send me stuff like this ongoing for years. Can you guys do something like that? And we both looked at each other and said, they're cutting out newspaper articles and sending them to you? Yeah, we've got some stuff like that, and it's not delivered through us. It's delivered through these people who do this for a living. So
It dawned on me recently, because I'm fairly active on social media from a retirement plan standpoint, and you just see an unending flow of articles, white papers, things on LinkedIn, on Twitter, etc. And so it dawned on me that advisors, this stuff is out there, for you in such large quantities. And so the kind of pinpoint of the article was, well, let me do the legwork for you, and let me isolate, I think it's 6 accounts that I follow that I think bring you real good stuff, right? And they may not surprise the people out there that are heavy into this industry, but if you're kind of new to it or you're dabbling in it, hopefully this provides you some...
this is going to be impactful for.
And what I said in the article was that I've done some of the legwork for you. Follow these 6 Twitter accounts and you will get a steady supply of A+, 401k, drippable, I made that word up, nuggets.
Drippable.
Is
Drippable's
it
not
stuff?
a word, but
Is it stuff that's typically drippable to plan sponsors?
that's a word.
yeah, for sure.
Participants?
Absolutely.
It's okay.
And it varies. Most of these accounts have a lot of variety to what they do, but they're all kind of uniquely different. So the first one is at ASPA, ASPPA, and this is our trade organization, right? This is our biggest trade organization, the American Society of Pension Professionals and Actuaries.
I was about to call one of these guys out to see if they knew what I was
Running
standing
through my head
for.
like, God, what is that
Could
even
have
about?
tased them had they not
Oh,
answered.
that would have been. Which, by the way,
There's no taser here.
And-
we're getting about ready.
So obviously this is freaking ASPA, right? So you're going to see some good stuff. I would argue that this account, you're going to see a lot of technical stuff, which has its
Good.
right place and time, right? It can be a good thing. The next account that I mentioned on there was at Jason Roberts, ESQ, Esquire, and this is an ERISA attorney. I think of him as kind of the junior Fred Reish, like he's the next Fred Reish. He windsurfs, which I thought was totally cool, so I've met him before.
He's a smart, easy, awesome version
He's-
of a typical ERISA attorney, right?
He's a good dude. He's very knowledgeable. He's nationally known in terms of speaking, and so he's definitely a credible source. I think I call him here an ERISA stud, and he does deliver a ton of great tweets. Yes, advisors, I said tweets. Get on Twitter, check it out. There's valuable information for you there. The next one is at Fred Reish, the man, the
The
myth,
myth.
the legend. Hopefully Fred doesn't get mad at me. Not that he watches Retireholics.
Maybe he
I
will
don't
one
know.
day.
But,
We should all note that was my very first
Drink.
industry picture. Do you remember that?
Oh, with
Your
you got a
dad
picture
and
of
I.
Fred?
Your dad and I went to an event, and I have a picture of myself and Fred on day number 2 of me being in this business
He's
with
the-
his arm
Is he
around
that tall,
me.
really?
He's taller, dude.
Yeah, he's probably like I don't
Your
know,
arm was around
6'1".
him?
His arm was around me.
Oh, so.
He's definitely the biggest
Well,
name
so
when it
he
comes
would've
to.
been- I was on the left. So, but
Sorry, we're getting.
you
all
get
way
the
off track.
point. Jeez,
Pulling a total JD.
We digress.
we do.
He's definitely the biggest name in retirement plan, 401k, ERISA type stuff. And
Let me add before you move on from
Sure.
that. One of the best things about what Fred Reich releases is he gives opinion. Most ERISA attorneys give fact, and they stick with fact. He actually interprets what he's writing about, which is extremely helpful, and it makes it gives it to you in a way that you can apply it to business, which is fantastic.
and I forget if I said already, but he's not super frequent with his tweets. But he's still, as I say, the man, and he's a legend. He's a must follow. And I say, come on, dude, it's Fred Reich. You got to follow Fred Reich. The next one is at Napa 401k. I love this one. This one is this is a National Association of Plan Advisors. I can't believe I'm forgetting the guy's name that pumps these things out, but
don't know.
super good. And these are some of the more creative, funny, ties it to recent pop culture.
You said
Good stuff.
Funny?
I want to say Nevin Adams.
I don't think this is a
Shoot.
group I belong to, so that's one I've got to
Put
start
oh,
following.
I've never done this. Put his name right here.
Well,
The writer, 'cause
remember,
he's a
Mark
stud.
clarified in the last
That's right.
episode. No, you
I
just
do.
start in the middle and
Oh,
go
my
out,
bad,
because
my
then you're
bad.
good either direction.
He's very, very good. Next is at Fiduciary News, and this is Chris Carrozza. And what I like about this dude is very steady. He's very active on Twitter, so you see a lot of stuff. And he's kind of the no BS dude. So he'll kind of shove some stuff in your face, opinions, thoughts about stuff. And one of my favorites, actually, to follow. At Planet Advisor is the 6th. That's Planet Advisor magazine, kind of the child of Plan Sponsor magazine. So obviously Planet Advisor magazine is a great magazine if you're not checking that out. And their Twitter feed is just as good and just as valuable.
And they clearly know what they're doing, because they interview the best people in the industry for
boy.
content.
Shameless plug.
Best people in the
Shameless
industry for
Can I
content.
please
didn't
explain
think
to
he
you
was
how
actually gonna do
Chad?
I did.
Can I explain to you how
No, you
Chad
can't.
got on the show?
No, you can't.
Yeah, how did he get on the show?
They,
No,
called,
you
they
can't.
called me and I was busy. So, yeah. So he just on the show. He was quoted in their magazine several times.
So he was the backup plan.
I'm
And then
fine
I
with that.
actually I said top 6, but I added 2 more. I added at 401k Plan Design and at Retireholics.
Who'd
And I'll
that
just
be?
quote
Would.
myself. I say, okay, these are self-promotion and not really in my top 6. And then I said, is it bad that my own Twitter accounts don't make my own top 6? Don't answer that.
In
Not
time.
Really, not really. Yeah.
So that's
You're not egotistical like.
Chad.
but in all realism, if you're an advisor, if you're an industry professional trying to stay up on stuff, Twitter, which I mentioned here, but also LinkedIn, it's a great resource to stay up on this stuff. I mean,
Are most of the things that folks are posting on LinkedIn hitting Twitter? Like, if you're
I don't know, it's
posting an
hard to say.
article on LinkedIn, is it typically hitting your Twitter account?
I honestly think in my social media expertise that Twitter's kind of fallen off a little bit, and LinkedIn's got a lot of momentum.
Is Twitter
so-
really used for that, though?
That's what I
Oh,
was
yeah.
trying to get at. Is I see
I don't
Twitter
think-
as like short snippets of,
Yeah,
of
like,
opinion
exactly.
versus content.
But
And
you
what
can
it sounds
link-
like
you
you're
can-
saying is that they're
Oh,
often
they're
linked
both,
together.
yeah.
You're getting
You-
it from both.
I would call both of you very naive.
For sure I am when it
No,
comes
Twitter
to Twitter.
is.
for
Yeah,
sure.
you click on it, you get links to great
you link to it,
articles.
yeah.
There's a lot of
Okay.
business going on there. It's not just Britney Spears and Kim Kardashian. There's a ton of, and I'm talking about business accounts here. So it follows a different vein, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's a ton of great articles
Okay.
on there. But LinkedIn is an insane source of valuable information now too. So use it, keep it, store it, and learn from it because it's good stuff. and self-promotion, check out 401k.com, F-O-U-R,
Use
numeric 01k.com, and use it. Okay, like every episode, the fun part of the show
Wheel?
is the wheel
It's
of
What do we
ice.
have today about it? Anything
it's
different?
the
Where's the hand?
wheel of ice.
The hand is
Couch
sleeping
over
over on the couch. Jeez, we got to get
Are
new
we boring
support
you?
staff.
Let's be honest. He had what? 2, 3 its, a beer or two,
True.
like 18 pieces of pizza. I'd be sleeping on the couch
Here
as
comes
well
the spin.
at this point.
It's It is a client of
What do
ours
we ha-
that
do we have-
supports us with ice
We
cream all
have
the
nothing
time.
but question marks. Who's it gonna be?
Question marks.
Question marks this
It's gonna be
time?
random.
I hope it's not me under the question mark.
Could be me.
I could not
Could be
stomach a
Justin.
Smirnoff Ice right now. Of all the times to pound one right now,
Oh, Marquise.
Marcus Allen,
I think that's totally fair.
Smirnoff
right?
Ice.
Oh, for sure. I mean, you pulled off a random question mark, and it just
Yeah.
happened to be Mark.
He's had
Is it-
such bad luck with this
Disney
contest.
World.
Horrible.
I mean,
One
Do you want to look and make sure that
Don't
it's
ever
actually
go to
Mark?
Vegas,
Yeah, I
Mark.
should.
You
Hey,
should make sure that it's Mark.
where's the Smirnoff Ice?
Because it
Yeah.
would be a little freaky if it wasn't Mark.
It's you.
Is it
It's
Mark?
on the question mark still.
Oh,
No,
maybe
it's
it
not.
actually landed.
Try the
on
next
The
one.
arrow
See,
is
maybe
pointing
that's
the other
Chad.
No.
Oh, okay, it's definitely you then. Sorry, Mark.
Sorry, bud.
Here you go, buddy.
Use those.
We should do a timing competition to see if he can ever beat a record.
12 seconds
Let's go
was
right
last
now.
time he did.
12.
Something
All right,
like
Mark.
that.
I've got you.
You have to move your legs, buddy.
Give him some room. Give him some room.
All right, on your mark.
Wait,
No,
he's
no,
not ready.
No,
No
no,
pun
no.
intended.
Are you got him?
All right.
You got him?
Smirnoff Ice, Mark
I'll do
Palmini.
backup.
Here we go.
On your mark. Get set. Go.
I just want to say Mark's a true trooper. Pounding this Smirnoff Ice in the name of 401k plans everywhere.
Wow. Oh,
That's some JD.
stop.
That's some JD
Should we
stuff
split
right
time on
there. Oh man, his eyes are watering. That's a 5-set rep.
it is a tough afternoon.
23,
I had you
24.
I had you at 23 seconds.
Yeah, not my best effort.
Well, at least you can improve upon that.
I
Very
think
good
I
job.
think in 9 you almost finished the entire thing though.
Very good job.
I once ran a 5-minute mile, and coach told me, "Don't worry, you can improve upon that." I
Your
didn't run
coach,
a 5-minute mile.
your coach was lying to you.
If I had ran a 4-minute mile, could you imagine?
Flatten was full.
You would be Usain Bolt.
All right, Chad. Why don't you kick us off on our next subject, which is starts with a hashtag, and kind of explain to our audience what it's really all about.
It attaches to Not Your Typical Advisor, which is about delivering content that will allow advisors to brand themselves and their practice in a truly different way.
Separate
than-
themselves.
Separate themselves in a truly different way than what their peers are currently doing.
Wash it down with some beer.
And part of doing that is,
bucket.
what's that? I've reached out to you guys on many occasions, and you guys keep me up to speed on the advisors you're working with. And one of the conversations that we've had historically is, what they come to bring with themselves into a point of sale. What they have, how they're set up to be successful. And it is, and I wrote a blog about it, a post, in terms of, are they coming with a tangible service agreement, something that they can show a plan sponsor.
What Lance is really enjoying is it's.
Yeah, seriously. Remove the plastic wrapper from your It's It back there.
And what I've come to learn is that shockingly, a lot of plan advisors are not coming to a point of sale with some type of defined service agreement. And I want to be clear when I say service agreement, because this blog post had a lot of comments on it. I'm not talking about 408B2. I'm talking about a marketing piece. I'm talking about something that's tangible that's saying, hey, this is what I do on an ongoing basis to service your plan and what separates me from some of the competition. This is my plan of attack. That's what I refer to as
And
service
so
agreement.
many folks that hopefully are watching this, we've sat with over the years, and we've had the conversation of, you need a deliverable. Because your peers are coming in and saying the same story you are in terms of, this is what I'm going to do and this is how I'm going to do it. and they list off the type of education and the frequency of enrollment meetings and education meetings. But there's not something physical that's coming across showing physically and signing on to what you are going to actually do.
What do you, especially you two, because I mean, you guys have been doing this for quite a while. What do you guys find are kind of those highlights of,
That's a great
this
question.
is what I do, and what can the
So,
audience take away from this? And
That's
be
a
like,
great
what I wanna
question, and I'm actually going to reference a template that we've provided. If you go check out this blog, there's a link to the template. I'm sure we can do that spread out thing. We can give you a link here to go check out.
How are you
but
underlining?
to,
Big.
to answer your question, I think a common place to start is like 3 areas in terms of what do you do from an RFP process.
Okay.
How do you look at vendors, look at those fees, those things, and how frequently might you do that?
You're talking like a benchmarking of that.
Yeah, like a benchmarking.
Which
Will you
is
do that every 3 years, every 4
interesting.
years, what have you? The second area is what are you going to do from a fiduciary services standpoint, so a fiduciary review. And what I wrote in this post too was that could vary from client to client, so I thought it might be interesting to actually make your thing adjustable that says, are you going to do it annually, semi-annually, quarterly, and talk to your client about what they want and then kind of click it in as you go. And then the last area centers around participant education. How's that going to be accomplished? Do you use webinars? Do you use recorded sessions? Are you committed to live meetings? And at what frequency are you going to do those things? So if you kind of think about that and you can take a look at the template, that's a great place to start with a service agreement.
I don't think that over the years I've seen many address how they will benchmark or keep the provider kind of cost structure and investment offering prudent inside of their service agreement. When I have seen folks that create it, what I think most have done, to go back to your question, Johansson, is they've addressed their service model over the course of a typical annual year. So we'll have 2 group education meetings, and from those education meetings, I'll sit back after the meeting and do one-on-ones, and we'll do once a year fiduciary review meetings with quarterly investment methodology. That's what they'll cover. And they won't necessarily talk about the 3 to 5 year type benchmarking and structure. So it's interesting that you say that. I think it's probably a very overlooked area of a service agreement because most advisors are winning business on that exact piece, right?
Do you remember
on comparing?
when you and I would go to these and we would accomplish that type of analysis, that benchmarking as you call it? We used to say to them, hey, we're doing this right now in an attempt to win your business, right, with our advisor partner. But this is something that we're going to do on an ongoing basis to make sure that your plan is still prudent and still making good decisions as it relates to your investments and your fees. So I agree with you. I think it's important to let your prospect know, I am going to keep my finger on the pulse of your plan.
And there, as JD mentioned, there are some samples, and there are actually some samples, and this may be what you're linking to, which is the 401kacademy.com. But I would love to see advisors really customize this with, if you recall from last episode, we talked about what their log line is, what their differentiators are, what it is that they do, to differentiate their service agreement by the uniqueness of their business.
Did you read my next paragraph while I was sitting there?
No.
It says, make it unique. Find something that you believe in that sets your 401k service model apart.
Genius.
It's like you guys have the
Genius!
same brain. It's like
Yeah.
you're
What
one
about-
person?
So much of, especially when we run into new plans and, advisors bringing opportunities to us, from a TPA standpoint, we're always looking for that, advanced plan design opportunity. And it seems, especially right now, we talk about cash balance a lot and whatnot. What about including something like that on that initial process?
I love where you're going with that.
Wow.
You're saying add to the thing, hey, I'm going to be the proactive person that works with your TPA to make sure we're taking a close look at your census and your design.
That's interesting.
That was not planned.
Great idea.
That was that's a great idea.
Even beyond that, like what you're saying, what if you did the same flair with the record keeper? Because we talk about benchmarking every 3 to 5 years, but you could say something about enhancing the education program. That's a great idea.
I love that. To go back to making it unique, what I was trying to say is, hey, by the way, nobody said this piece has to be black and white and in what's a common font, Mark? You mentioned one last
Times
time.
New Roman.
Times New Roman. This can, with your logo centered at the top, have some fun with it. Make it cool, make it engaging, make it inspiring, and make it something that fits your brand. Back to this hashtag, not your typical advisor.
And Mark, you said over the last year or so, truly make it easy to understand, right? If you could lay it out in a way, perhaps even, that shows an annual service model. Okay, let's pretend we're in December. What will happen in me servicing your plan in January, in March, in June, in August, in December? What is the typical service model going to look like over the next year? And even have the ability to dial it up, dial it down based upon the frequency that the client wants. If you could come to a meeting with something tangible like that, and not only deliver verbally what it is that you're going to do and the impact that you're going to make on the plan, but now have an agreement that represents what you're stating, that's a big difference. I will say to many advisors out there, I'll often ask, if I were to come into as a private wealth a private wealth client, and I were to have $1 million to invest, and I would ask you, determine suitability, let's walk through this process with you. Most of them have a very definitive process and even service agreement on the private wealth side of what they're going to do and how they're going to deliver it.
They're trying to get their hands on
$1 million bucks at 1% or more. Yeah.
What'd you say first? You owe me a Coke. Sorry. When we say the same thing.
Oh,
Jinx.
yeah.
You said $1 million
Jinx
bucks.
personal.
Jinx. Sorry. Yeah,
Is that a new?
let's
Yeah. So I think if they came with something
My
like this to a
11-year-old
K
does
meeting,
that.
that would be huge.
Okay.
Agreed.
I was going to say it's something you
Jinx,
got
it's
from
the
the
Jinx.
kids.
Yeah, it's
It's
11-year-old
Jinx.
that does
Jinx
Buddy, owe me a
personal.
cola.
It's a cola, guys.
Hey, the name of the post. The name of the post is "Why Are Plan Advisors Not Doing This?" And if you go and check it out, there was a lot of comments where people in the industry were saying, "Yeah, I work with advisors all the time, and they're not bringing these to a point of sale." So
Were you getting comments from advisors? Is my question.
people mostly working with advisors, but yeah, some RIAs were chiming in with, "I would always do that," and I can't understand why someone wouldn't. But what I want the audience to know is that your competition is still not doing this.
Yeah.
And so you need to put this in place and get a leg up. I even made up a stat in the post that said that you'd be 10 times more successful. I made
You
that
measured
up.
that, right?
No,
I
I
mean,
just totally
fully
made it up.
measured.
But hey, 10 times.
You
come
did
on,
a
10
lot of
Sounds good to
research
me.
to get to that point.
Yeah, I just came up with
Everything
it.
we read
But,
on the internet.
I guess my question to you is, I'm just curious. So we talk about compliance, right? We have a tough time getting guests on the show because compliance won't let me.
yes.
Certain things are very restrictive. So we talk about laying out a service agreement. Is there any hindrance to somebody actually laying out a service agreement because maybe compliance or a BD won't allow them to put certain
Good
things
question.
out there
Yeah.
to slide across the table? So how do
think-
you
I'm sure
how do you go around that?
I think what you're seeing these days is that, of course, you're going to have to submit it to them, and they're going to have to review it. But you can make a great service agreement. I mean, think of a company brochure for an advisor. I mean, it's
They
kind
already
of a
have it
similar
made
thing.
for them in some senses.
Yeah, but a lot of times they customize, do their own thing. So
And
my point
compliance-
is, they can approve it. They'll
And
work
compliance
through it.
usually is just making sure that you're not making guarantees or commitments, and usually it revolves around investments,
But good
which
question.
this wouldn't.
'Cause you definitely got to throw it through compliance, but that's part of being an advisor.
Part of my question goes to, if it's already accessible, why is it not being used more? I guess is my question. Is it just a look into things to say, like, I can come in and just be that person and get that trust, and I don't need to have that?
I think it has to do with who is typically selling this business.
Right.
We say all the time that still roughly 70% of the business is sold by an advisor who will do less than 3 to 5 plans
they're
in their
dabbling.
career, and so they don't take the time to create that. Mostly because they don't need to.
Right.
They're not going to. Most of
Is
them
it they
don't
don't
believe they're
need
going
to,
to
or
use
they-
it again. It's a
they don't know to?
relationship based. They don't need it to sell the business, and it's not a requirement.
And so we're saying, hey, use the template, spend 5-10 minutes, get it laid out, send it through compliance.
Especially if you want to make an impact, right? If
10
you want to be a
times,
K
10
advisor,
times.
yeah.
10
If you want to be a
times
K
your
advisor,
success.
do this.
Come on, dude. 10x? Why wouldn't you?
That sounds good.
Guaranteed.
So
That's a large T-shirt, by the way.
those are two good things we talked about today that we want our advisors and the people watching to take note on and build into their practice.
What are they taking notes on? Is it, again, going back to last episode,
It's
is
still
it
cool
on
and hipster
their,
to do it on a piece of paper with a pencil.
it's not cool if you do that. Like,
I
do
take
it on
notes
your
on a piece of
tablet.
paper.
Yeah,
And I scan them and I send them to you guys, and you guys can't
It's
read
not
them.
even paper. It's graph paper.
It's true.
Like,
I use
haven't
graph
used
paper.
graph paper since freshman year of
I'm a
college.
nerd.
Yeah.
Apologize.
So, with that said, thank you for tuning in to episode 10. We're going to keep pumping these out in 2016, our
What?
season 2. And I keep doing this because I'm just looking for more engagement. Get on Instagram, follow Retireholics. Get on Facebook. Get on Twitter. Hit us up on LinkedIn.
You might see a picture like that
Face-
staring you
Hit us up on
into your
Facebook.
soul.
Your eyes are
And Periscope. I know we
Hair what?
Periscope.
Periscope.
Get it done. We're gonna do a lot more live streams in the future. I know we did one for episode 9, so check that out. And we're not supposed to comment on this.
Failure out.
We're not supposed to comment. Yeah.
Yeah.
Periscope. Maybe we struggled a bit with some of the
first
tech,
time.
but
It
yeah,
happened.
Think
we'll
back
get
to
it
our
sorted
very
out.
first
So
episode
with
of
that,
Retireholics.
Yeah.
we
You
are.
weren't even there.
I
We
know.
are.
You were invisible.
I'm still
We are
invisible.
the Retireholics, changing the retirement plan industry one of these at a time.
Boom, Sherlock.
See ya.
I had a startup plan. I didn't want to give anything to my employees, so I did a salary deferral only plan, and I failed my ADP test. So I called up ABC, and they said, you should have a safe harbor. So I put in place a safe harbor match. And now I don't have to worry about no test. It makes my life so easy that I go to sleep at night happy and peaceful. I love PDC.
Take it to the bridge.
I don't know what I would do without a smart, easy, awesome TPA. They are my best friend. They have made my life a better place. Ks are awesome.
Wow.
All right, that song's rolling. That's
Oh god,
Wow.
that's fucking horrible.
oh, so good.
Bob Marley just died again, by the way.